Now we will move to the concept of accident. Section 80 of the Indian Penal Code categorically defines what is accident and why this accident is excluded from criminal liability. Accident in doing a lawful act, which says, the section reads as, nothing is an offence which is done by accident or misfortune and without any criminal intent or knowledge in the doing of a lawful act in a lawful manner by lawful means and with proper care and caution. The section is very clearly mentioned why this accident is excluded and when. The main ingredients. What are the main ingredients under section 80? Which first it says that the act must have been done without any criminal intention or knowledge. That is very important. So there is lack of criminal knowledge or intention. The second ingredient is the act alleged to have been done against the accused must be lawful. The third one is the act must be done in a lawful manner by lawful means and with proper care and caution. To bring an act within the meaning, the term accident used in section 18, an essential requirement is that the happening must be one to which human fault does not contribute. An injury caused is neither willful or negligent. It is something happens out of ordinary course of thing. In order to invoke this section, it must be proved that the act is done without any criminal intent or knowledge. It is mandatory to prove that the act is done without mens rea or guilty mind. Thus, injuries caused due to accident in sports or games are covered in these sections, because in every sports or games there is a consent between the parties. Otherwise, we can call the maxim voluntae non fit injuria, which says a consented act is not a crime. By applying section 18, we can say there is no intention or there is no intention from the part of the accused persons. In sports and games, we can say there is a consent. There is one case in Tunde versus Rhett. Two friends, they were fond of wrestling, participated in a wrestling match, and one of them suffered injury which resulted in the death of the other. The other person was charged under section 304A of IPC. The High Court held that when both the parties are agreed to wrestle with each other, there was an implied consent on the part of each to suffer accidental injuries. In the absence of any proof of foul play, it was held that the act was accidental or unintentional. Hence, there is a consensus between the participants. The court come to a conclusion that it is only an accident and unintentional. In another case, Jaggi versus Emperor, the accused was beating a person with his fist. The latter's wife intervened with a 2-month-old baby on her shoulder. The accused hit the woman also. The blow struck the child on the head and it died from the effects of the blow. The accused was held liable even though the child was hit by accident. The reason is that the accused was not doing a lawful act in a lawful manner by lawful means. This section specifically mentioned that a lawful act in a lawful manner by lawful means, that is very important. If a person is doing a lawful act, it doesn't mean that he is entitled to get the benefits under section 80. What it says that he must do a lawful act in a lawful manner by lawful means. If an act is lawful but done it through unlawful manner, this section doesn't have any application. Further, this section emphasizes act must be done with the proper care and caution. That is very important. What is expected is not utmost care, but significant care that a prudent and reasonable man would consider adequate in the circumstances of the cases. There is one case in Bhupendra Singh versus State of Gujarat. The accused constable along with his head constable was on patrol duty at a dam site which was in danger on account of heavy rainfall. The accused took the plea that he saw a fire and hence fired. The accused closed at short range without knowing the identity of his target. The Supreme Court held that the act was done without any care and caution. His conviction for murder was upheld and he was sentenced to life imprisonment. See, this case is very important. He fired while he was under duty, and the reason, the ratio which the court took in this case was he fired. Yes, he was on duty, he was exercising his duty, but the last point which is explained in the section, that is very important. The section says that it must be, all the act must be under care and caution. If the police officer who is under duty acted carelessly, then he is not entitled to get the protection under section 18 of the Indian Penal Code.